All right, we're talking about fractions this week. Okay? It says a fraction is a number that represents an equal part of a whole. So if I have a pizza, okay, and obviously when you get a pizza, it comes in slices, right? And depending on how many people are gonna eat, you're gonna ask how many slices you want. Most of the time they have about 8 to 16 slices on a pizza. Okay, so a fraction represents an equal part of a whole or equal part of a set. All right, look at the model. It says Danny shared his granola bar with Stefan. He broke it into 2 halves, 2 equal pieces. Okay, what fraction of the granola bar did each receive? Well, Danny received this much, okay, and then Stefan or Steph received that much. How much did Danny receive? Out of the whole, he. Okay. So out of the whole bar, out of the whole granola bar, Danny got how much? A half. Okay, and it's a half. It's 1 over 2. And so you write a half like this. I'll write it again. Okay. So Stefan also got a half. 1 over 2. Okay. So the fraction tiles did you place? What fraction? A half. 1 over 2. And each person received, well, 1/2 of a whole granola bar. By the way, the number at the top, that's called the numerator. Okay, the number at the bottom is called the denominator. It says a unit fraction represents 1 equal part of a whole. Okay, so this half right here, that's a unit fraction. That represents just 1 part of a whole. Okay, look at the example that they have. Okay, the number, the top number of a unit fraction is always 1. It says 1 whole is divided into 4 equal parts. Okay, what unit fraction represents 1 equal part? Again, a unit fraction is just this, just okay, 1 part of the whole thing. Okay, so write the unit fraction. Okay, so 1 part out of how many? 4. So there are 4 equal parts. Okay, so each one of these represents 1/4. Okay, and how many fourths make a whole? 4 of them. Just like how many quarters make a dollar? 4. Let's see where are we? All right. Here we go. Let's watch this.
Explore model fractions. A fraction is a number that represents part of a whole or part of a set. You can construct or make models to fractional parts of a whole. First, we need to make a model. Cut 4 strips of paper that are each 1 inch wide and 8 inches long. Label one strip 1. Next, make a fraction model. Fold the second strip in half. Cut on the fold. Label each part 1/2. Now make more fraction models. Fold the next strip in half twice. Cut on the folds. Label each part 1/4. Finally, fold the last strip in half 3 times. Cut on the folds. Label each part 1/8. The models show 1 whole, halves, fourths, and eighths.
So let me ask you this. I have one whole, right? Okay, so how many halves make that? Two. Okay, how many eighths make one whole? How many eighths? Eight of them. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then how many fourths make a whole? Four. Okay. You notice, obviously, if I have a half, how many fourths make a half? Just two. Look, here's a half, and then I have 2 fourths that make a half. So how many eighths make a half? Four of them. Okay, and obviously, 2 eighths makes 1/4. So those are equivalent fractions, which we'll talk about later. Go to the next page. So here's the example that they have. Okay, it says Ian made a loaf of bread as his final project in health class. He divided the loaf equally among some students. Each student received how much? 1/8. So that's all we know right there, 1/8. So I need to divide it in how many sections? Eight. Eight. Okay. So each student received 1/8 of the loaf. And to how many equal parts did Ian cut the loaf? We just said that. How many? 8. And each one is going to represent 1/8. Each fraction unit will be 1/8. So I need to make that. Well, let's see. And I started off with what kind of shape? A rectangle. And I divided into how many? 8 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make it up there. Let's do it again. So, in order to make 8 sections, I need to make 7 lines. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they need for you to draw one rectangle that will represent one whole. Then they want you to make another rectangle the same size though, and divide it into 1/8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, roughly. Okay. And then each one of those is 1/8. So 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, and 1/8, and also 1/8. Okay. And after that, it looks something like this. Okay. So we have, it says count the equal parts. So how many equal parts were there? 8. 8 equal parts. Okay, then label each part that we actually labeled it 1/8. So the loaf was cut into 8 equal parts or eighths. Something like this. That was right. Eighths. Yeah. All right. Now, I'm gonna do number 1. We're gonna do number 1 together, and then you'll do 2 and 3. So where would they draw the line? Right down the middle. About right there, roughly. mine's a little hard because so about right there. Okay. And then I have to label it, right? So one side will be a half, and this side will be a half. Going to do 2 and 3. 2, you have to divide into 4 equal parts. And then 3, you'd have to divide into 8 equal parts. Going to do 2 and 3, please. So I need to make 4 equal parts. I would say start about right here. 1, 2, 3. And this is 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, and oops, 1/4. And I need to make 8 equal parts. I'm going to use 7 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, let's do that one again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, roughly. And then each one of those is going to be 1/8. And it'll be something like this. You see that? So 2 halves equals one whole. 4 quarters, okay, or 4/4, okay, equals 1 whole, and then 8/8 equals 1 whole. Right. Number 4 says I need 3 equal parts. So how many lines am I going to use? Just 2 lines to make. Okay, so it's 1, 2. Okay. And each one of those is going to be how much? What's this? 1/3. So this will be 1/3. This will be 1/3. This will be 1/3. Okay. Then number 5, I need to make 6 equal parts. I'm going to do that. So 10. Okay. So how many parts do I need to make for number 5? 6. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Caleb, each one of those is how much?
1/6.
1/6. So it'll be 1/6 here, 1/6 here, 1/6 here. So each unit fraction is 1/6. 1/6 and 1/6. Okay. 6 and 7, they're already divided for you, huh? Right? They divided those already for you. Okay. So for number 6, how many equal parts do I have?
4.
4. I have 4 of them. Okay. And what's the unit fraction? Each one of those is how much? 1/4. Well, there's 4 altogether, and each one of these represents 1/4. So obviously it would be 1/4 here, 1/4 here, 1/4 here, and then 1/4 here. Okay. Number 7, how many equal parts do I have? 2. And what's the unit fraction, Ben, Ezekiel? Yeah, what's that called? 1 and 2. I know, but what's the fraction called? Yes, Karina? Not 2/4. I know that. Just tell me this, though. Just tell me this. What's this fraction? A half. Yes, that's all I need. Now it says to shade 1 part, right? So I need to just shade this. Okay, and then I need to shade this, just 1 part here. How many equal parts do I have? 3. So Aubrey, what would be my unit fraction? 1/3. Okay, and obviously I would have to just shade one of those, right? Iris, number 9. How many equal parts do I have? 3. And each one of those, the unit fraction is 1/3. So I have to shade just one of these parts right here. And that's it. Now they have it shaded in already, right? Now they have it shaded in already. Okay, price number 10. The one that's shaded in, is that 1/3 or 1/4? 1/4, because actually there's 4 altogether, right? With one shaded in. Okay, Eva, 11. Is that 1/6 or 1/8? 1/8, because there's one shaded in out of 8. Okay. Michael, number 12, 1/5 or 1/6? 1/6. Again, one shaded in out of 6 total. 13, everybody? 1/2, a half. 14? 1/3, yeah, because there's 3 and one shaded in. And then 15? 1/6. Excellent. Interesting how this was accomplished. Some of you guys did this. This is absolutely correct, okay? You divided this way like this into fourths, right? And each one of those was a fourth, right? That's okay. Some of you guys did this way. Is that still a fourth? Yeah, each one of those. Obviously, it's not as perfect as they make it, as they have it, but obviously make sure that each one of those is about the same size. Okay, and this would be a fourth. Okay. Some of you guys did this, and you put a half on each side. That's okay. Some of you guys did this part like this, and that's also a half. That's still okay. Some of you, which is pretty cool, you went diagonally like this. Is that still a half?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a half, and so is this. Okay, number 3, divided into 6 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And each one of those is 1/6. Okay. Number 4, divided into 3 equal parts. 1, 2, and each one of those is a third. So your fraction for number 2 is 1/2. Fraction for number 4 is 1/3 or 1/3. This is 1/4. And this is 1/6. And look something like this. As we should have. Okay.